Good day, everyone. Thanks for joining me again. I've been asked several times why or what possessed me to determine that I was moving to the Philippines. That's a legitimate question, and I'd like to address that today. I have to take you back a few years just to give you a little background. Every American would remember 2008 financial crash, whether it was banks going under, mortgage companies, and the fiasco they created, and et cetera, et cetera. Those with 401ks, seeing them pretty much bottom out. Any other funds or stock market didn't do so hot at that point. It was then that I was a realtor in Iowa. I think I was in it for 4 or 5 years at that point and starting to do very well. I had some business on the books that I had to take care of, so I lasted until 2009, early 2009. At that point, houses were not selling. People were not buying. Mortgages were very difficult to get, and people feared for their jobs, literally. Of course, concerned about the future of the financial industry. At that point, I had to get out. A lot of realtors started looking for other things to do, and I was one of them. I had, of course, many years of carpentry and cabinet making, specifically custom cabinet making. And so even in that area, there was no remodeling going on and no building, of course. Again, people were very tight with their money and afraid to venture out into anything in that area. So what was I to do? I did have a Class 1 license at that time. I think it was in the early 80s when I first got my Class 1, and something to fall back on, and so that's what I did. I got into a semi-tanker truck and was with that company for approximately 9 years. It's Beesman out of South Dakota. Very excellent company to work for, by the way. I appreciated them very much, and they were very good to me, I have to say that. At any rate, that shortly after that point, a divorce happened. So in the process of driving, I think it was about 7 to 8 years ago, that is from today, I was running it's a food grade tanker business, by the way. I was running a full load of oil down to Phoenix area, and I stopped short of Nebraska by about an hour because my time was out. My 11 hours were up, and so I stayed the night there and left early in the morning, not feeling good at all. I thought, well, it'll blow over and be fine after a few miles. So I drive about an hour, and I'm starting to really perspire. It was about 40 degrees outside. I opened all the windows and felt just a little bit better. And I turned left on 83 South, that is, 83 Highway South from 90. So I turned east again, and just to go through the little town of Mission. It's an Indian reservation, the whole area. And all I remember is just getting up to speed, and that's the last I remember. Again, I was loaded with a tanker and 3-axle tractor. I apparently went down, I straddled the highway and an approach, a road actually, and I went down in that angle, which probably saved my life. Or I would have destroyed not only the equipment, but probably myself. I did have my seatbelt on. However, it took about not quite half a mile that I passed out. I was unconscious in that respect. I woke up, and the truck was against a 7-Up truck in the parking lot of a gas station. And when I did finally get out, I looked just 50 feet away. The truck had passed through between the fuel islands and into the side of the truck. At that point, I feel I was doing about 20 just from the damage of the other truck and the tractor. But thank God I never rolled. The trailer was intact. Quite a bit of damage to the front end of the truck. There was another road that I had, believe it or not, gone over, and 2 approaches before that I jumped. Again, unconscious until some natives awoke me in the gas station area, and I tried to move, and I was hurting really bad. I had bruises on my head, and thankfully I had my seatbelt on because I was thrown around a lot. So I had shoulder, head bruises, nothing serious there, but I had an issue with the back. The ambulance was quick to get there, as were the police, and there's a few things I needed out of the truck. So I asked the police to take care of that, which they did, and they could see that I was totally fine, other than some injury. And the ambulance took me to a hospital about an hour away. I forget the name of the little place. I think Valentine rings a bell. And that's South Dakota or Nebraska, I'm not sure. At any rate, they couldn't help me. I was there for about an hour, and they determined, the head haunch doctor there came to talk to me, told me, we have to ship you to Kearney. That's where they can help you. So that's a 4.5-hour ambulance ride, and the paramedics were very good. They did give me pain shots, which seemed to help a little. They took back routes, which were very rough. at least when you have a back injury, then any little jiggle is an issue. At any rate, I was in that Kearney Hospital for a few days, about a week. 3 shifts of nurses. One shift in particular, I think it was midnight on. There were 2 Filipina nurses, and out of all the probably 14 or 16 nurses that took care of me in those days, these 2 were the most proficient, the most gentle, the most kind and interested and sympathetic as I could imagine. I couldn't believe their demeanor. And not at that point did I attempt to talk to them, because I was in really a lot of pain. I had a 6-month layup on my back. That'll give you an idea. But that really impressed me. The care, the attitude, the simplicity of these 2 Filipina nurses. And so anyway, after I started recuperating at home, I start thinking about it. Maybe I need to get me a Filipina. And of course, where I lived in Kingman, Arizona, there were a few. Of course, they'd come over and were married, etc. So I thought, I ought to just take a vacation, which I haven't had for a long time, and go to the Philippines. So that's what I did. I visited once 2017, or sorry, early 2018. Actually, twice in 2018. It was May and December. Then 2019 December, I went again, and that's when I met Ging, my wife currently. So that's a story of how I became interested even in the Philippines. I thought I needed a Filipina. Of course, you can get very nice people anywhere in the world. I thought of Mexico, and being that I know quite a bit of Spanish, and I could get along there very well. But the retirement requirements for a couple in Mexico, it was much more than what I could be bringing in my Social Security retirement. So that's why I decided, one reason at least, that I decided to move to the Philippines. From here on out, I will try to address different issues that I faced, that you may face if you are considering coming to the Philippines. But for now, I appreciate your time and your subscription and sharing, etc. And I hope that you'll follow me in the future. My wife Ging is at her folks' place just for over till I dropped her off this morning. She's coming back tonight. I just need a break from the. I just felt worn out. I've been hammering away at that house for a solid 4.5 months, and I might say I'm burned out. So I'm giving me a rest and getting caught up with videos and other things that I've neglected. I have cameras and drones that I just found the batteries today and I'm recharging them. So preoccupied with that house, which is coming along very well, but I'm the main man there. Obviously, Filipinos don't know much about construction methods of the United States, and especially how I want things done. Had 2 helpers. They were very good, but the time comes when in detail work, they're not so much oriented, especially if they're not experienced. One was experienced, one was not, but what they knew is block work, cement work, rebar work. All this was brand new to them. The metal studding, trusses, etc., etc. So I've been alone and having a good rest. So until next time, appreciate you following, and I wish you a good day.